Hey guys, what's going on? It's RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nolan, and in today's video, I am doing an unboxing for you guys. So this right here is a Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive brushed model. And you guys might be thinking, well, why, Nolan, would you purchase a brushed two-wheel drive Traxxas Slash when you have tons of RCs that are way better, way more capable, way faster than this machine? But I got thinking, for some of my viewers, some of you might be new to the hobby, and some of you might not want to spend $300, $400, $500 on an RC. So I got thinking, I'm doing this as an experiment. And I just want to answer the question, is it worth starting out with an entry-level Slash? So I decided to go online, purchase the cheapest Traxxas Slash ready-to-run model that I could get, which is this one right here. And this cost $189.95 from Amain Hobbies. You ring up that total with tax, we're talking a smidge over 200 bucks. Now, when I say ready to run, it doesn't include the nickel metal hydride pack that most Traxxas ready to runs would come with. For that, you have to pay about $220, $230. And there's also some other subtle differences between the $220, $230 one compared to this $189 one. Now, this $189 one comes with a different paint scheme. So the color scheme and the way that the body's painted is completely different on these. I particularly don't like it as much, but that's what you get when you're buying the cheapest Traxxas Slash. This is the first electric two-wheel drive machine I have ever owned. In the 5 years I've been in the hobby, everything I've owned is four-wheel drive except for my HPI Baja 1/5 scales, which those are gas-powered. But this is my first experience with an electric two-wheel drive, 110 or any scale RC. When I got into the hobby, I skipped right over the two-wheel drive sector. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going right to four-wheel drive. That's what I was thinking. The first RC I ever bought was a Traxxas Slash, but I went with a Traxxas Slash four-wheel drive, brushless model with a high center of gravity chassis, and I loved that machine. I loved it so much that soon after I bought a second Traxxas Slash. I bought a Traxxas Slash 4x4 Ultimate, which has a low center of gravity chassis, which was just probably an even better machine. But those machines are costing $400, $500, almost $600 for an Ultimate. I'm basically going to do a whole series, a build series, a torture test of this machine. I'm basically going to push this Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive platform to the limit. We're going to see what is the downfalls and what are the pros of this machine. I mean, because I have already shown through my videos that the Traxxas Slash 4x4 and Ultimate are probably the most reliable machines I own. And I own probably 15, I probably owned 20, maybe 25 machines before. A few have come and gone. But they have proven to be the most reliable machines overall that I own. So what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to cut this thing open. We're going to unbox it. I'm going to go through it a little more thoroughly. The first thing, guys, I'm going to do is cut this plastic wrap off. Don't have a knife with me, but I do have my keys. So hopefully we can get this open. There we go. It's always super exciting, guys. Sorry, you probably can't hear me over that. It's always super exciting to get a new RC. I mean, it really is. So I am excited to open this up and see what we got in here. There we go, got that off. Throw that aside. So can you guess what color scheme I got? Right here on this side it shows these are the two options for this particular level of Traxxas Slash. And this is the color schemes it comes in. It comes with this gray, white, and red coloration. And it also comes in this gray, white, and blue configuration. So which one do you think I got? It actually shows it on the end of the box. It shows which one I got. But if you haven't seen that, which one do you think I got? I think actually, before I dig into the box, the first thing I should do is go over what it says on the box. 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. And one thing I do already know is that with this brush model, this does not have TSM. And if you're not familiar with TSM, TSM is Traxxas's stability control. Like their Traxxas Stability Management is actually what it stands for. And I'm pretty sure you can't get that until you get the brushless models, because I don't think any of the brushed XL5 models come with it. They do come with the 2.4 gigahertz, luckily, so it's the same frequency, but it doesn't have that gyro inside of it that helps with stability. So that's a little bit of a downfall, but don't worry, guys, because I thought of that right from the beginning. So right here, the good thing is it is waterproof. All the Traxxas Slash, actually every Traxxas model I believe is waterproof. I mean, all the new models that they have right now, I'm pretty sure everything's waterproof. So it's a waterproof Titan 12-turn 550 can motor, XL5 ESC, fully assembled, ready to race, officially licensed race replica. Okay, fast name and radio control. I do know I have to put the antenna on because I believe with these two-wheel drive ones, it doesn't come with the antenna setup. This 3.5 inches of ground clearance, 13-inch wheelbase. Says long wheelbase chassis, so I don't know if there's a short wheelbase. I've never heard that there's a different chassis for this. It does have officially licensed Kumho tires. It does have the 2075 digital servo, which is waterproof. Has full ball bearings, which I think a while back, earlier on, a few years ago, the brushed models did not come with a full set of bearings. Some of them might have been bearings, but I think some of them were also bushings, copper or brass bushings, I mean. I think it came with brass bushings, which is, you know, that would have been a reason I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have bought one if it had brass bushings. So I'm glad it has a full bearing kit. It's good that it has the same waterproof. So basically these are things that it has that's in common with the VXL version, which is the brushless version. So it has the same ball bearings all the way around. It has the same 2075 servo, which is waterproof. The things that are going to differ is the motor. The tires are different because I know looking online, the VXL ones come with officially licensed tires as well, but they're BF Goodrich tires. And these ones are all chrome, so the beadlock and everything is chrome. And those ones comes with different colors for the beadlock. So the beadlock is a different color, so it just looks a little bit cooler, so that's what you get for a little bit more money. Now, this was a really important thing for why I bought this machine, because right here, torque control slipper clutch. Now this whole gear case right here, the whole transmission is metal geared. And that was very important for me because if I don't like the brush setup, like I said, I'll be upgrading this thing along the way. And if I decide to go to brushless, I need a transmission. Ideally, I want the transmission to be ready to go. So this has, from my understanding, the exact same transmission that's in the VXL two-wheel drive version. So that's good because it's metal geared, so that's one less thing I'll have to replace if I decide to go brushless. But like I said, guys, I want to start out with a blank slate and try it out as it comes from Traxxas. Let's see, planetary differential gear, oil-filled, ultra shocks. Same things on this side. So I think, guys, it is time to actually rip this thing open. I really like Traxxas' boxes. I really do. I actually keep all of the boxes from any ready-to-run model I buy. I always keep the boxes. I don't break them down. Let me know in the comments what you guys do if you get a ready-to-run machine. Do you keep the boxes? I just really like the way they look, so I always keep them. I don't break them down. All right, guys, now that we looked at the outside of the box, let's go ahead and finally cut this open. There we go. And have you guys guessed yet what color I got? If you haven't seen this end of the box where it does actually show, it shows on the edge of the box which color this is. But if you haven't seen that, guess what color it is and write that in the comments before you actually see it. So, as you can see, we got some styrofoam that helps hold the machine in. You got your typical Traxxas Slash 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Looks like it just has a set button. I know that there's two buttons on top of the brushless model with the TSM. There's a set button and a menu button, I believe. But it's the same configuration, so forward, brake, reverse. It doesn't have the 50-70 or the 50-50 or 70-30 where you can flip it with the for the trigger. So for the trigger to be 70-30 or 50-50, so 50 to go that way and 50 to go that way, or if it's 70 and then 30 to go in reverse, I believe. I could be saying that wrong, but you guys hopefully understand what I'm saying. But this does not come with batteries, but that's pretty typical. But like I said, this one doesn't have TSM. TSM, there'd be another knob right here, and that would be for the gyro feature, which you can adjust, basically turning it off all the way to full, which really just helps your machine continue to stay going straight when you're really trying to put that power to the ground. But otherwise, feels exactly the same as all the other Traxxas transmitters. Let's put that off to the side. Let's get that styrofoam out of the way. So the next thing we have coming out, guys, is the actual truck. So, have you guys guessed the color yet? Hopefully you have. Here it comes. There we go, guys. I got, whoop, there's more stuff in the box. Let me get that out of the way. I got the red, white, and gray color scheme. To be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest fan of either, but I decided to go with this. And you know what, to be completely honest with you, in real life, it actually looks a little bit better than I thought that it was going to look. Like, I thought I wouldn't like the color scheme at all, but actually looking at it, it's actually a little bit cooler than I thought that it would look. And here's Traxxas. So what they always do, they always put the plastic wrap over and put the pins through to hold the body on. So we'll get that off. But let's also see what else is in the box real quick. So we have got, looks like our little toolkit, which has a little foam piece. I think that's just a spacer for depending on the size of the battery. It looks like it has little, those are for the shocks, preload clips. I think those are called, I don't know. Body washers, looks like maybe some shock pistons. Obviously the actual Traxxas manual. And looks like there is a little toolkit in here as well. So now, what else? Oh, this came out. So this is the antenna, which actually does not come on it. So you have to put this on, but no big deal. So let's go ahead and get the body off of this Slash. Move those clips out of the way. And there we go. So let's take a better look at the body, guys. Yeah, it really does. It looks even better now, actually, now that I got that plastic off of it. It really actually shines. I actually like it quite a bit more than I thought that I was gonna. Hopefully it shows up well on camera, guys, but really, I mean, it's brand new, obviously, but I really actually do enjoy that color scheme. It kind of looks like arrowheads. It just is kind of almost like a tribal-like theme, kind of. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but as you guys can see, here's the color scheme. It doesn't have any of the names of drivers on the side, so this must not be based after an actual truck. It doesn't have numbers on the side either. So when you buy the cheapest Slash, this is what you get. But same material, same thickness, same everything. Here is the hole in the top for the antenna to go through. And here's what you get with the machine. So right here, it's a little tag that says, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read that, but it says, the suspension of your Traxxas Slash short course race truck has been set up for off-road performance. To improve stability on pavement or less rugged terrain, the following changes should be made. So move the shocks to the outermost position. So basically right here. So there's a hole right here. You can move it to the outer ones, it looks like, just so you can have a little bit more stability when you're not going over as rough terrain, I guess. So move the rear shocks to the middle position. Add a 4mm preload spacer to the front shock. So, but this thing's going to go off-road, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But yeah, this thing does have way more height than I thought that it was going to. 3.5 inches. Look at this. Can you guys see my hand under here? So my whole hand, which I don't have the biggest hands, but they're not small really either. My whole hand fits up underneath this machine. So 3.5 inches of ground clearance. This is way more than the four-wheel drive models. I can see why this thing's notorious for flipping, which I've heard watching the videos before I decided to buy it. I've heard that this thing's very, very tippy. These shocks, they're Ultra shocks, so I assume they're the same shock or very similar shock to the ones that come on the VXL versions. Like I said, these officially licensed Kumho tires. So Kumho, just kind of like a chrome, not really a chrome, kind of like a brushed aluminum look with the same color bead lock. And they do say Kumho and Road Venture MT mud terrain. Here's the servo, of course, 2075, just like on all the other Traxxas models. This is right here, of course, is where your battery goes. Here is your XL5 ESC, which is mounted right back here. And I'll have to look, but I believe that's only a 2-cell capable ESC or nickel metal hydride. It does have the high current Traxxas ID connector. And waterproof receiver box, obviously. I don't think there's really much else going on here. Obviously, it has a different servo saver setup and everything. This is completely different. This whole front portion and back portion. Actually, this whole thing is completely different. This big, weird-looking servo horn, which that looks really weird, actually, has this really weird white servo horn. I've never seen that before. So that's different. I'm seeing a lot of plastic, but that's to be expected when you buy the cheapest model. And I can see those bearings in there, those full bearings. This is a two-wheel drive model, so there's no drive to the front wheels, so just spins freely. And they spin nice and smooth, which they should since it's a brand new machine. It says Traxxas on the bottom of the chassis, and now when you get back here, this right here is your 12-turn 550 can Titan motor. And it is a brush motor. And these drive shafts are slightly different, it looks like. These don't look to be the exact same drive shafts that are on my four-wheel drive model. This actually almost looks like a metal piece here, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But these drive shafts look different to me. The ends look the same, so I'm sure these are prone to breaking, because if you guys aren't familiar with the Traxxas Slash platform, that's probably one of the weakest things with this machine is that the drive shafts break, because they break right at like the yoke. Right where the U-joint is, they break, especially on the upper part. So I have no doubt that they're going to break on this, and we're probably going to be upgrading it. But like I said, we're going to be torch testing this thing, guys. So let me get some of these tags off right here. Let's get the one off the ESC. Let's see if it says on the ESC real quick. I don't know, I'll have to read that off camera. Anyway, guys, what I gotta do is I have to install this, I have to install the antenna. I can also see some other differences right here, like the hinge pin brace right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it uses those little E-clips, kind of like what my HPI Bajas use, which these are kind of annoying to mess with. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but like I said, that's what you get when you buy the cheapest model. Oh, and it does have directions right on here for low voltage. Tells you right there, low voltage is on if it's green, low voltage detection is off if it's red. Most people would know that though if they've had one of these models. Now the suspension seems really cushy, really nice. Like that's quite a bit of travel actually. The weird thing is I wasn't expecting this weird, the way that these front arms are set up. Like I wasn't expecting that. Like they're angled upward. The actual arms are angled upward. I wasn't expecting that. And these front shocks are laying down more, almost like at like a, I'm not good at judging angles, but they're definitely mounted. I mean, I guess that would be good for if you go down like nosedive, I guess. But yeah, it just kind of looks different. Obviously, it's a different setup. These little pieces right here, they don't feel like the best quality. Feels like the same type of stuff that's on the Slash 4x4, which these are also another piece. These side bits, Nerf bars or whatever you want to call them, these are pretty weak, and these break. They break on the four-wheel drive model. They're a lot better on the low center of gravity chassis though. The ones that it comes with on my Ultimate are a much better, much stronger feeling Nerf than this. And this chassis is obviously way wider than the four-wheel drive models. But I can't get over the amount of ground clearance it has, guys. That's just an insane amount of ground clearance. And then we have the Metal Gear transmission right here. There's a warning for something, probably that this motor gets hot. Oh, it's high performance, 12-turn motor. You better watch out. You got to be careful. It's high performance. Anyway, guys, let me put the body on, and we will look at it with the body on. There we go. What do you guys think? I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, I think it's a really, especially since it's brand new and it's shiny, it looks really nice. It really does. I'm not the biggest fan of those wheels, just because it doesn't have a different contrast and color, which I would like. And I'm trying to think, I could be wrong, but I don't know if the four-wheel drive, because I have a bunch of stock Slash tires sitting around from my four-wheel drive models. But I don't know if you can interchange those with these. You might be able to on the front, but I'm not sure if the rear ones are the same. The offset might be different or something. I could be wrong on that, but I could have sworn I've read that somewhere. But we will see, because obviously at some point I'm probably going to try to swap them over. But as you can see, Traxxas Slash, two-wheel drive, XL5 brushed model with the 12-turn 550 can Titan motor and the 2.4 gigahertz controller. I do have to put that antenna on, but that's kind of a look at it. And the next video you guys are going to see is, you're going to see a running video, obviously, because we got to test this thing out, because I'm going to test this out completely stock. We're going to beat the crap out of this thing. My plan, like I said, is to test this two-wheel drive platform to see what the weak points are on this machine and upgrade them as we go. So I'm going to have a whole series with this Traxxas Slash. We're going to upgrade the thing. We're going to make it the best that we possibly can. And my thinking for this is, because this was one of my biggest worries, was that since this doesn't have TSM, there's no Traxxas stability management. That was probably the biggest downfall of getting a brushed two-wheel drive compared to going and buying a VXL two-wheel drive version, which is about $300, so $110 more. But I do have my 1/16 Mini E-Revo, and that thing does have TSM. And I'm not the biggest fan of that machine, to be honest with you. And it still handles very poorly, even at speed with the TSM. So it's such a twitchy and squirrely machine that I don't mind tearing the transmitter and receiver out of that and swapping it into this, and swapping this one into that if I need to. So that's the thought process that I have, that if this does need some sort of traction control, I can swap the stuff out of my 1/16 brushless E-Revo, because it really is super twitchy even with TSM on that. And then I just switched this controller and receiver into my Mini E-Revo. So I pretty well thought stuff out, guys. So if you like this unboxing video, go ahead, leave a thumbs up for this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch the whole progression of this machine. You want to see how I torture test it, how I upgrade it. I'm going to tell you what I think of it stock. So there will be a running video coming out soon with just how it sits stock, running it, and my thoughts and impressions on it. And then from there, I think we're going to start beating the crap out of it and see what the weak points are on this machine. And what the strong stuff is. And ultimately, hopefully down the road, in future videos, at some point I'll be able to tell you, is it worth purchasing a machine like this? Later.